Hello, friends and faithful. So like a lot of us, I've been paying attention to the news. And there's a lot out there to be afraid about. In fact, we have two political parties who are telling us to be very, very afraid of the other political party. And it just occurs to me that how much of our national life these days seems to be governed by fear. And fear is basic, right, to the human condition, wired into our DNA. And yet it occurs to me what a terrible place fear is to live from. It's a terrible place from which to make any decisions. It's a terrible place from which to relate to each other. It's a terrible place to even be able to see clearly, because fear colors our perceptions. So I want to tell you a true story. Someone I love dearly suffers from panic attacks. They wake up in the middle of the night and are with our heart racing and a cold sweat and hardly able to breathe, with this overwhelming sense of impending doom and fear. And this has gone on for a very long time. She's tried everything, medication and meditation and so on. But if I asked her about these panic attacks a few years ago, and she told me her story. Under the guidance of a Buddhist teacher, she tried something different. She'd wake up with this horrible sense of fear and panic, but instead of getting up and moving around or trying to distract herself by reading or whatever she would do, and sometimes it would take her hours to get back to sleep. So instead of doing that, the encouragement from this teacher was to just stay with it. Stay there and feel it. And she said this was just awful at first. It took her months to be able to stay for even a few minutes. But over the course of about a year, with some guidance and some training and some practice, she was able to just stay with it. She still wakes up sometimes with these panic attacks, and they're still awful, but she doesn't have to get out of bed. She knows how to manage it. She has learned to be with it. And she said they haven't gone away, but the main difference has happened is she's not afraid of them anymore. And she can get back to sleep with it about a half an hour or 40 minutes. And I think that's a pretty profound change. So I've just been thinking about that, and I just want to encourage us. If you are feeling fearful, and I think all of us are, I'll speak for myself, I am feeling pretty fearful about what the fall election might entail or result in for the country and for the world. And that does, in fact, keep me up at night sometimes. But here's what I want to encourage all of us to do, is to not hide from or push away or deny that sense of fear. I think fear is a terrible place to live from. It makes it hard to make good decisions. It makes it hard to relate to each other. It makes it really hard to even see clearly, because fear colors our perceptions. So I want to encourage all of us to, when we have that fear, when we're feeling that fear, to just kind of stay with it and maybe learn from it. Maybe even make friends is probably too strong a term, but become a little bit more self-aware of where our fear is coming from and how that fear is affecting us. And if we can do that, I think we will, in fact, be able to make better decisions, and we will be able to relate to each other better, and we will be able to see things much more clearly. So that is my vlog for this month. And remember, my friends and faithful, that you and I and we are inextricably connected to all that is and was and ever will be. Thank you.